Hey everyone, AMD reported fiscal 2023 first quarter earnings and the stock price fell in response. You can see the 5-day chart here of AMD stock price. You can see when the earnings came out, the big dip downward. The stock is down 4.5% after earnings. So in this video, I'm going to review AMD's earnings results and I'm going to answer if AMD's stock is a buy on the dip here. Okay, so let's get into it. Revenue decreased by 9% to 5.4 billion. That decrease generated a loss per share of 9 cents, which is down from an earnings per share of 56 cents year over year. So a dramatic decrease in profitability, even though revenue only fell by 9%. Industry wide, in the first quarter, January, February, March, computer sales were down 30%. 30%. Of course, AMD sells into that segment, namely its client segment, which sells into that category. Revenue decreased to 739 million from 2.1 billion in the same quarter last year. So AMD suffered a similar fate to the industry where that segment revenue crashed. But AMD has multiple segments, not just the segment where it sells CPUs, right? It has GPUs as well and GPUs that it sells into other segments. Its gaming segment, right, which sells GPUs, sometimes these are used to mine cryptocurrency. That saw revenue fall to 1.76 billion, down from 1.875 billion in the year prior. So that segment is pressured because the price of cryptocurrencies has fallen significantly off their highs, and the interest for mining cryptocurrency has diminished significantly as governments worldwide have really pressed regulation in the area and several frauds. Remember FTX, that huge fraud. And so interest in that area has come down a lot, and that's hurting AMD's gaming segment. Inventories, which I've been watching closely because of the industry wide slowdown in sales. You don't want to have too much inventory right now when sales are crashing. Inventories were up for AMD to 4.23 billion as of April 1. That's compared to 3.77 billion at the end of December. I'm not too happy about that if I'm an AMD investor, because if inventory is going up when demand is going down, that's going to cause further price decreases to get rid of that inventory, which is why you see a significant drop in profitability, even though sales only fell by 9%. Unfortunately for AMD stock investors, management is forecasting more pain ahead. Q2 revenue of 5.3 billion with gross profit margin of 50%, so similar to what you saw in the first quarter, a little bit worse than what you saw in the first quarter. This year, I would say, is not going to be a good one for AMD. This year is a work through year where AMD works through and readjusts, calibrates the business to the way people are spending now after economies reopened. There was a different level of spending when economies were closed and people were spending more time at home. That has shifted dramatically, and it takes time to shift your business. So this year, I want AMD to shift the business to better align demand with supply, right? Get through this inventory, reduce output, match your business. So to answer the question, is AMD stock a buy? Is this a buying opportunity? And I would say yes, this is a buying opportunity for AMD stock. If you compare AMD stock with Nvidia, AMD is way cheaper than Nvidia. So if you're bullish on the semiconductor space, if you're bullish on the CPU and GPU industry, AMD is a good way to play it. In my opinion, a less risky way to play it compared to Nvidia, which is more expensive and that brings, of course, more risk. So I prefer AMD over Nvidia. and this could be an opportunity to get into AMD stock at a lower price. I would be patient, however. So let's say if you're thinking about investing $1,000 into AMD stock, instead of going in and buying all of it right now, I would say split it up into 4 or 5 parts, $200 or $250 each part, and then buy one part every month for the next 5 months. Or if you split it up into 4 parts, buy one part every 2 months over the next 8 months. Like, split it up because this year is going to be difficult. The stock price might go lower, and so you want to spread out your purchases, dollar cost average the rest of this year, and put yourself in position for the rebound in 2024. All right, that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.